So here we go. Alan Smallwood to take us through the grids of this one.
Ryan Huxtable, Lee Aylett, your front row, Kevin Bell and Nathan Thiel from row number 2. Gary Higgs, Terry Green and Kyle Larson. Your remaining starters, Adam Harvey, unfortunately a scratching from heat number 6, the final heat race for the Super Sedan state title.
Set for a start and we're underway as the green lights come on. Aylett, you'd expect to jump away to an early lead in this one. And he will so indeed. I've got to keep our eyes on, though, the man who currently doms the number 1 on the side, Gary Higgs, who needs to pick up 2 positions to start off pole in this one. He needs to stay second or better. He's finally got the better of Ryan Huxtable. The next one, though, is Kevin Bell. It's Lee Aylett that leads in car number 4 from Bell and Higgs. And it's Ryan Huxtable, Nathan Thiel from Terry Green and Kyle Larson, who's just playing it smart at the back of the field, knowing with a heat race win he will be starting near the front of the field as he actually runs side by side with Terry Green and Larson. We're lucky not to come into contact there, but Larson finally gets a position over car number 76, but it's all 4 that leads of Lee Aylett. Second is still under play at the moment as Higgs really wants that place. If he can get it, he will start off the front row. And with that, he's not there just yet. So he looks to try and get past car number 5 of Kevin Bell, the Busselton Bullet, doing everything he possibly can to hold on to that second place ahead of Gary Higgs. 2 of the wily old veterans of Super Sedan racing. The 5, though, just can't get off at turn number 2, and Gary Higgs will go to the inside and was almost at a stop, you would have to feel. I thought that car was going to store. It was that slow going into turn number 3 as Kevin Bell fought back on the outside, and he'll take back second place. Third is Gary Higgs from Huxtable, Nathan Thiel. Then it's Kevin Bell and Terry Green, but there's no catching our race leader in this one. It's a gargantuan lead that Lee Aylett has with 4 laps remaining. We may have a race go the distance, Alan Smallwood as well. 5.076 is the gap between Lee Aylett and Kevin Bell, who's doing a mighty job holding off the state champion at bay. Higgs has tried everything to get past at the moment as the dust is near on unsightable to see where the cars are at the moment. Higgs is doing everything possible to hold on to this one and get onto that front row. He needs to get past car number 5 to do so as well. But Lee Aylett, with 2 laps remaining, has set himself off and is home and hosed in this one. Bell and Higgs are still fighting it off for second place. Then it's Nathan Thiel, Ryan Huxtable, Kyle Larson and Terry Green, and with 1 to go. There may be no changes in the race order from here on in. We'll keep our eyes on second place though, as Lee Aylett is in another postcode. He's almost into the Collie town site. He's that far ahead of Kevin Bell and Gary Higgs. As a winner will come across the line, the final heat race will go start to finish finally, and it'll go the way of Lee Aylett. Second place is still under attack. Kevin Bell sitting on the bottom trying to hold off the West Australian champion, and he won't at the line. That will be Gary Higgs, who will get it right on the line. Second will go to the 1. Third place be Kevin Bell. Then it's Nathan Thiel, Kyle Larson, Ryan Huxtable and Terry Green. With that, Alan Smallwood, I think we've got a new pole sitter.
That has come in the absolute nick of time for Gary Higgs. He was staring down the barrel. If he didn't pass Kevin Bell there, potentially could have gone back to the second row. That has given Gary Higgs pole position for tonight's final in the WA1 Sweet Murray Park Tavern Sweet Chassis. So it's going to be Gary Higgs and Tristan Green, your front row for this year's 40-lap final. But if he hadn't have passed Kevin Bell on the final few metres of heat race number 6, Gary Higgs would have been potentially as far back as the outside of the second row. That's how close and tight the point score is in this year's Super Sedan state title. So saved by the bell there, Gary Higgs, done it in the nick of time. But Lee Aylett, agonisingly close to winning this event in 2021. Can he do it in 2022 in the number 4? third generation super sedan driver. He's late grandfather, Peter Aylett, a legend of Tasmanian Speedway. He was a national champion in 1986 in super sedans, and Lee looking to become WA1 in 2022. Down to Warren Jones, who has the winner of Heat 6.
Thanks very much, Molly. That was fantastic. First time you've been up here tonight. You had an awesome meeting at Bunbury just the other week. A lot harder tonight getting around, but you're there, so you'll be up to start.
Yeah, look, this Pro F Civil NKC Photography West Australia 4 has been on rail since Bunbury. We come across a lot of issues in the start of the season, but I'm glad we can counteract it. Look, first of all, I've got to say a big thank you to all my sponsors: Racing with Autism Australia, JLM Heavy Mechanical and Welding, Mel Collie Transport, Hydraulic Resources. They're in the stands tonight. Thank you, Ange. Thank you for the basketball family. Aquatrans, Bervolsberg and Head Reconditioning, Kieron, Stones Fabrication Welding. And I've got to give a big shout out to my mum and stepfather. They're not here tonight, they're in hospital. My mum had stomach surgery, so hey mum, this one's for you, and whatever happens in the feature, this one's for you, and hey, we're going to go get them. And also a big thank you to my team and my dad. Without them, this thing don't happen, so yeah, let's go 40 laps.
I'm not sure if you had all that written down, but that was fantastic. Well done and good luck in the future.